Welcome to Two Feet Told. My name is Erica and this is Brandy.
Hey everybody, I am a registered dental hygienist with a local anesthesia permit, and I have been practicing in the dental field for the last 20 years.
Yay! And I have not.
Ah.
So if you guys are joining us for the first time, and I'm back, y'all. I know I've been away, but I'm back. Okay.
She back,
So if
she
you guys
back.
if you guys are joining us for the first time, our podcast is focused on providing underserved and the underprivileged communities, particularly communities of color, with the information and tools to help them improve their dental health care experience.
Yes, that's
Okay.
what we do.
I was on a lot of vacation, guys. I got a little bit of, you know,
Yeah,
you
she was
probably can't,
globe trotting.
yeah, I was away. All right. So tonight's episode is going to be about wisdom teeth. So exciting. Brady, have you had
Yes.
yours extracted yet?
Yes, I did many moon ago. So yeah.
I have not. I have
No.
not. They said
Okay,
I don't
so
need
good.
them. I don't need them done. So that's a good thing, right?
That is good. Absolutely.
Yes. Okay.
Mhm.
Brandy, what is wisdom teeth removal?
But wisdom teeth, they're also known as third molar extractions. So you have your first, your seconds, and your thirds. And so you may hear your dentist saying third molar extractions, one and the same as wisdom teeth. But the wisdom tooth removal is an extraction or removal of those third molar teeth. And it's recommended, some dentists recommend it because it can help to preserve your oral health, and it can help alleviate any problems that you may have in the future. So sometimes when dentists recommend this, you may not be having any pain or any issues, but they may foresee issues. So basically, they're removing those teeth, and that's what the removal is. And typically, these teeth erupt inside of your mouth, or you may start having issues with them between the ages of 17 and 25. Those are like the typical ages, give or take.
Okay. All right. I
Mhm.
do have a question though. Like, so is it like, how do they, this might be down the line. This might be too early to be asking this question. It's probably going to be down the line,
Okay,
but
well,
I'm just,
ask it and then
all
I'll
right, let
see
me
what's
ask it. All
good.
right. So when you say, like I said, they told me I didn't need to get mine out. So they didn't foresee any issues. Does that mean it's the way my mouth and my teeth came in? You know what I'm saying? Like, is
hmm
that, or is it because I had braces at one time or did that affect it? Like, how does this work?
So that is an excellent question, Erica. So basically, it just depends upon the way those teeth come into your mouth. So they may be in just like your first and second molars, and there may be plenty of room for them, and you may utilize those when you chew. So if that's the case, you don't have to have them removed. Sometimes, even if they are covered in tissue and bone, and that's what impacted means, we still don't bother them. So it just depends on the patient. But yes, we will get into more detail about it. But yeah, it sounds like you're using yours and they're not impeding on your other teeth or causing any other issues. So you absolutely do not have to have them removed.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Mhm.
All right. So now we know what wisdom teeth are. Why is it done? Why do they need to remove them? I mean, I guess you kind of touched upon that a little bit, but
A little bit, yeah.
break it down. Break
That's what
it
I said.
down the way,
Yes.
in layman's terms. Whatever.
Absolutely.
Huh.
So you might you might need to have them removed if they are impacted. So a lot of people are like, oh, my third molars are compacted, but the proper term is impacted. And all that means is that they're either partially or fully covered in tissue and bone. So gum tissue and jawbone. So that's all that really means. Sometimes they can be impacted sideways, meaning they're laying on the side because they're covered and you can't see them, but we can see them on the X-ray. And those are crooked or sideways. Sometimes they're completely covered in tissue, or sometimes you can see them inside the mouth just a little bit. Um, but when they are like that, sometimes you can develop pain. You can get like food traps or debris back there because sometimes the gum tissue doesn't cover them completely and like food can get stuck in there. Um, And then this can cause cavities on the teeth adjacent to those teeth, or the teeth directly in front of those teeth. It can cause issues like that. And you can also develop cysts on those wisdom teeth. So cysts around the roots of those teeth. Sometimes the cyst covers the whole tooth inside the jaw, and we can see that on the x-ray. That's why we take this special x-ray. It's called a Panorex, and it goes around your head in a circle. You stand up, and then we're able to see all of those structures. So, and if there's going to be any damage to the surrounding bone or nearby teeth, that they'll remove them. So for all those reasons, they could be removed. And of course, if you're having pain, if you're symptomatic and having any issues, then they can be removed as well.
I mean, but how should everyone else, prepare to get their wisdom teeth removed?
Okay, so first and foremost, most times you're going to be seeing an oral surgeon. Not all the time. Some general dentists do this and they're really good at it, and that's what they specialize in. They're just not oral surgeons. But if you're having any impacted wisdom teeth, you're going to most definitely see an oral surgeon, but you're going to have a consultation first. So that's how you're going to prepare. You're going to have a consultation with the oral surgeon. He or she is going to look at your x-rays. They're going to determine exactly the location of the teeth, and just take a look and see what your case looks like. So just so you guys understand, you're not walking in an oral surgeon and having teeth out that day. You have to have a consult, because they have no idea of what's going on in your mouth just to put you in a chair and say, okay, let's take these teeth out. Like, they need to come up with a plan. They got to come up with a plan. But people expect that. Well, I thought I was getting my wisdom tooth out today. Well, we have to look at and see what's going on. You can't, because, there's certain issues which we'll get into.
Seriously?
So to answer your question, you need to have a consultation with the oral surgeon. Okay. And then they will talk to you about different things. So if you want to have some type of sedation, if you want a general sedation or IV sedation where you fall asleep, if you're just having local anesthesia where you're just getting numb, they'll go over all those things with you, and they'll let you know how you have to prepare prior to the procedure, that the next day or the next time you come in. The next appointment. That might include fasting. Whenever you have any general anesthesia, that might include taking certain medications before, stopping certain medications before. So they'll go over all that with you in the consultation, so that when you come back, all you're getting done is the procedure.
Now, what could happen if you don't follow those directions and you're still taking the medications and things like that? Is it going to cause like more bleeding and things?
It could. So certain medications could cause more bleeding. If you don't fast, just like when you're in a hospital and you can aspirate, you can lose your life that way. So it's not a light thing to, you don't take it lightly. A lot of people just, put me to sleep. Yeah. It's very dangerous to do. So that's why you have to have a consult. Some people are not candidates to have general anesthesia, so they need to determine that. Sometimes it's just not safe. It's not worth it. So they'll figure all that out. But yeah, Erica, certain medications could cause more bleeding or other issues or healing issues. So we need to know those things.
So what happens during the extraction when they get in there and they do it all at one time, right? Or sometimes not.
They usually do. So usually it'll be 4. If you're having all 4 done, usually if you're going to sleep, they're going to take all 4 out. In typical scenarios, we usually do not numb the entire mouth at one time, but that's the only really scenario in dentistry where we do. If you're going under anesthesia, they just remove all 4. Yes.
Right. So what happens during the wisdom tooth extraction?
So, of course, like I said, they're going to give you your anesthesia. You are going to have general anesthesia. If you're going to sleep, that's the IV sedation, as well as local anesthesia. So no matter what you decide, you still have to get numb. The general anesthesia doesn't take away pain. It just puts you to sleep. So you can still feel pain even if you're out of it. So that's the whole point of still numbing you so that you're comfortable afterwards. They give you a really long-lasting Novocaine that lasts like 10 to 14 hours so that afterwards you're as comfortable as you can be You know what I'm saying? And then you can have time to have pain medication on board afterwards. But yeah, so they'll give you your sedation, they'll get you numb. During the procedure, they will sometimes they have to make incisions, which is like just making a little window in the gum in the bone so that they can access the tooth, and then they'll wiggle it out. So sometimes they wiggle it out just with their different instruments. Sometimes they cut it into pieces so that it's just easier to come out. And then once they loosen it out and it comes out, they will clean out the area. Sometimes they fill it with a healing material and they pack it, and then they suture it and move on to the next one. To be quite honest, it usually takes longer to have patients go off to sleep. Like sometimes these really like come out. These doctors know what they're doing. Maybe I assisted one surgeon for 10 years, and it was, for the most part, those teeth come out. Now there's difficult ones. I'm not saying there's not difficult ones, but when you have somebody, this is all they do all day, every day, it's routine. It's routine for them. So, but yeah, that's what happens. They'll clean it, they'll place the stitches, and then they'll put a little gauze in there and then get you ready to wake up.
What happens after the wisdom teeth removal?
So, like I was saying, you'll be numb for several hours, right? You are going to be uncomfortable. There'll be a little bleeding. Swelling is going to peak 2 to 3 days after the procedure. So you'll be using, we'll talk about that in the end, but you'll be using some ice and stuff just to minimize swelling. But you'll get detailed instructions on what kind of food you can eat, you know, how to take care of the area, when to change the gauze, blah, 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 blah. So all of that stuff will be mentioned, and you'll have a printout. Your surgeon should give you a printout so that you have it. You can put it on your refrigerator. Somebody can help you with it. Whoever's coming, because if you have the general anesthesia, you can't be by yourself. Somebody's going to be there with you to drive you. So that person will probably, you know, take that information and have it for you.
Make sure you get a responsible person.
Yes, absolutely.
Not a Lyft driver or Uber driver.
No, you can't do that. That's good, Erica, because people be like, oh, I'm going to call the cab. Back then, it was a cab. I'm going to call a cab, or I'm going to take the bus. Can somebody walk me to the bus stop? Absolutely.
Do you know this? I'm going to call a hack.
No.
You know that hack is like, okay, so it's like an unofficial taxi cab driver back in the day.
Oh, yes, yeah, back in the day. Yes. Yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah, a hack. No, you absolutely need somebody here that's going to sit here, that's going to go over the instructions, because you're going to be out of it. So good point, Erica, to mention.
Yeah. All right, so next, what are the do's and don'ts after wisdom teeth extraction?
So you do want to leave your gauze in place as per your surgeon's instructions. You're going to rest. You are going to use ice 20 minutes on, 20 minutes off for the first 1 to 2 days. After that, you're not going to use it. It's not going to be helpful. It's only helpful for acute things. So after 2 days, you won't be using it unless your surgeon tells you otherwise. And then you're just going to keep your mouth clean. You're going to continue to brush your other teeth, floss your other teeth. Just be careful with those other areas. And whatever medication you're given, just follow the instructions the way they're prescribed. The don'ts. Okay, so you are not going to drink through a straw. You're not going to use a drinking straw for at least a week. You're just going to take easy on exercise. Let me finish it, and then I'll go back to the drinking straw. And I'll tell you why. Lifting heavy objects, you're just going to wait a little bit. You don't want to eat any hard, crunchy, or chewy foods, and you do not want to drink any carbonated beverages. This is all for about a week's time. The drinking straw, any kind of sucking motion, so any vigorous swishing, spitting using a straw can cause a dry socket, and a dry socket is when the area where they had extraction, the clot is removed and the bone is exposed, which is millions of nerve endings. And it is extremely painful, and you can't do anything about it. Pain medicine doesn't work. There's nothing the doctor can do for you. It just has to heal on its own. You can't smoke. You can't do any kind of sucking or pulling motion, because that is going to disrupt the clot, which causes the dry socket. And when I tell you, I've had people come in with dry socket and they are in excruciating pain.
But what about the lifting? What does that got to do with your mouth?
Well, whenever you have any kind of surgery, you don't want to put any extra stress on any other part of your body because you're going to take away from healing. So if you're doing other things, then that's just taking away from your body resting and healing. So it's more
Okay.
so about that. Yeah, it's more so about
Okay.
that.
Okay. All right. So we got to split this up. And we're going to talk about the risk and the benefits and just some additional things that go along with wisdom teeth on our next episode. So you
Yes.
guys, like we always say, tune in, check out our website, twopetopodcast.com, go to the YouTube channel. It has all the links, the website, the links. So you can check out the episodes. All
Yes,
right.
please like, share, subscribe, follow,
Yeah.
all that, all the things,
All the things. All the things. So you can see us on your For You page.
Please. We want to be on that explore page. We want to be on that page.
Yes. Okay. All right, y'all. So, all right. Tune in next time.
All right, guys, take care.
Bye.